Have you ever wondered about the secrets that lie between life and death? This is the story of Rong, a young boy whose chance encounter with magical snakes changed his fate forever. A tale of discovery, betrayal, and the unbreakable bond with his loyal companion that led to a chase etched into the skies. From miraculous powers to celestial revenge, this is a journey you won't want to miss. Long ago, in a remote village surrounded by dense forests and sparkling streams, there lived 7 brothers. These brothers were known for their unity and strength, working tirelessly to tend their fields and provide for their family. The youngest of them, Rong, was often seen as the weak link, small, clumsy, and too curious for his own good. But what Rong lacked in strength, he made up for with his heart. He admired his older brothers and sought to earn their approval in every way. He would often take on the most tedious chores without complaint, hoping to prove his worth. One fateful morning, the brothers woke early to tend their crops. As they moved through the fields, their laughter echoed, a testament to the strong bond they shared despite their differences. However, that day was different. A sense of unease lingered in the air, and the birds seemed quieter than usual. As the brothers worked, Rong noticed something unusual, a rustling in the tall grass. He squinted and caught a glimpse of 2 massive snakes slithering toward the edge of the field. The sunlight reflected off their scales, giving them an almost ethereal glow. "Look!" Rong shouted, pointing toward the creatures. The brothers turned, their tools in hand. They saw the snakes, a male and a female, moving together as if in a dance. The brothers knew that such creatures were both rare and dangerous. "We can't let them stay near the village," said the eldest brother, his voice firm. With careful steps, they surrounded the snakes. The female hissed, coiling protectively around the male. The brothers struck with their tools, and after a fierce struggle, they managed to kill the female. The male, however, let out a mournful cry before slithering away into the dense forest. The brothers stood victorious but wary. There was something unsettling about the male snake's departure. "Rong," the eldest brother said, "take this snake to the watch house. Prepare it for supper while we finish the work here." Rong nodded eagerly, glad to have a task to prove his usefulness. He carried the heavy snake over his shoulder and walked to the watch house, a small wooden structure nestled at the edge of the fields. The watch house stood under the shade of an ancient Lungi tree, its thick branches spreading wide as if guarding the land. Rong placed the snake on a wooden slab and began to chop it into 7 equal pieces, one for each brother. As he worked, his mind wandered. Why did the male snake cry out like that? He wondered. After finishing, Rong realized he needed water to cook the meat. He grabbed a clay pot and headed to a nearby stream. When Rong returned, he stopped in his tracks. From behind the watch house, he saw the male snake emerge, carrying a piece of bark from the Lungi tree in its mouth. Rong crouched behind a tree, his heart pounding. He watched as the snake placed the bark on the severed pieces of its mate. The snake chewed more bark and carefully applied it to the wounds. To Rong's astonishment, the severed pieces began to fuse. The lifeless body stirred, and the female snake slowly came back to life. The 2 snakes locked eyes for a moment, then slithered away together into the jungle. When Rong's brothers returned, exhausted from their day's work, he rushed to tell them what he had witnessed. "I saw the male snake bring her back to life," Rong exclaimed. "The bark of the Lungi tree, it's magical." His brothers stared at him in disbelief. "Do you think we're fools?" the eldest brother snapped. "But I saw it with my own eyes," Rong protested. Their frustration boiled over. Believing Rong to be lying, they beat him mercilessly. Blow after blow rained down until Rong was left bruised and broken. "Lead me by the Lungi tree," Rong begged, tears streaming down his face. Without a word, the brothers carried him to the base of the tree and left him there, alone in the growing darkness. As Rong lay beneath the tree, his body racked with pain, he remembered how the snake had used the bark. Desperate, he scraped some of it off the tree and applied it to his wounds. A strange warmth spread through his body, and within moments his pain began to fade. To his amazement, his broken bones healed. He stood up, his strength restored, and stared at the tree in awe. "This is no ordinary tree," he murmured. Realizing he could never return to his brothers after their betrayal, Rong made a decision. He would leave the village and seek his fortune elsewhere. Rong's journey took him across rivers and forests. One day he stumbled upon a dead dog lying on the roadside. Remembering the magic of the bark, Rong decided to test its power. He sprinkled some over the dog's body. To his surprise, the dog sprang back to life, barking joyfully. Rong laughed and patted the dog's head. "I'll call you Lebong," he said. The dog wagged its tail, and the two became inseparable companions. One evening, Rong and Lebong reached a small village. They met an old woman who offered them shelter for the night. As they rested, a commotion erupted in the village. A young girl had died suddenly. Rong, curious about the possibilities of the bark, asked the old woman to approach the grieving parents. "If I can bring their daughter back, what will they offer me?" he asked. The parents promised him their daughter's hand in marriage and their property if he succeeded. Alone with the girl, Rong carefully applied the bark to her body. After a moment, she sneezed and opened her eyes. The village erupted in celebration, and Rong married the girl, beginning a new chapter in his life. Word of Rong's miraculous power spread far and wide. People brought their injured and dead to him, and he healed them all. But Rong kept the source of his power a secret, locking the bark away in a trunk. Even his wife was unaware of its true nature. One day while Rong was away, his wife discovered the bark in the trunk. Seeing it damp, she innocently laid it out to dry. The sun and moon gods, noticing the exposed magic, seized the bark and carried it to the heavens. When Rong returned, he was devastated. Furious, he vowed to retrieve the bark. Determined, Rong called upon the animals for help. Together they began building a massive ladder to the sky. However, Rong excluded the weevils, dismissing them as insignificant. Angered by the insult, the weevils secretly sabotaged the ladder. Rong sent Lebong up first to test the ladder. The loyal dog climbed with ease, disappearing into the heavens. When Rong followed, the weakened ladder collapsed and he fell to earth. His dream of reclaiming the bark was shattered. Though Rong lost the bark, Lebong remained in the heavens, chasing the sun and moon in vengeance. During eclipses, it is said that Lebong catches them, swallowing them in anger. Villagers shout and clap during eclipses, urging Lebong to release the celestial bodies, echoing the ancient tale. This is the story of Rong, whose journey from betrayal to celestial legend left a mark on both earth and sky. If this tale captivated you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.